The Mongol invasion of the Middle East, 1258. How Baghdad, once the world's most advanced city, fell in 1 week. Baghdad, the jewel of the world. A city of philosophers, mathematicians, poets, and dreamers. A city that held millions of books when Europe still struggled to rebuild from the Dark Ages. And in the winter of 1258, it fell in 7 days. Not to plague, not to famine, but to an army unlike anything the world had ever faced, the Mongols. How did one of history's most advanced and wealthy cities crumble so quickly? And why did the Mongols, who once admired Islamic civilization, choose to erase it from the map? By the mid-13th century, the Islamic Golden Age had lasted over 500 years. Baghdad was its beating heart, the House of Wisdom, a library so vast it attracted scholars from Spain to India, stood as a symbol of everything humanity could achieve. But far away, in the cold grasslands of Mongolia, another force was rising. A people forged from hardship, bound by discipline and driven by a vision. Under Genghis Khan, the Mongols conquered an empire larger than Rome, larger than Alexander's, larger than anything the world had seen. They shattered kingdoms, absorbed armies, and rewrote borders. And after Genghis died, his grandson Hulagu Khan inherited a mission: conquer the Islamic world. Not to study it, not to trade with it, but to break it. Baghdad wasn't just a city, it was a symbol, the center of the Abbasid Caliphate, and Hulagu believed symbols must be destroyed. But the fall of Baghdad wasn't inevitable. For centuries, the Mongols had traded with Muslim merchants. Some Mongol generals even admired Islamic scholarship. So why attack now? 3 major reasons changed history. 1. The Caliph's refusal to submit. Hulagu sent a letter demanding loyalty. The Abbasid Caliph, al-Mustasim, responded with arrogance, believing God would protect Baghdad. He underestimated who he was dealing with. 2. Political weakness. The once powerful Abbasids were now a shadow of their past. Rivalries, corruption, and poor leadership hollowed the state from the inside. 3. Hulagu's personal ambition. He wanted to prove he wasn't just another Mongol prince. He wanted to leave a scar on history. And Baghdad, with its wealth and prestige, was the perfect target. In 1256, Hulagu began his march. An army of up to 150,000, Mongols, Persians, Armenians, even Chinese engineers, moved like a living storm. This wasn't a barbarian horde, it was a machine. They built bridges in hours, siege towers in days. Their communication system was faster than anything in Europe, and their discipline, absolute. As they crossed Persia, cities surrendered or burned. One line, Baghdad lay ahead, unaware that its doom was marching closer each day. When word reached Baghdad, the Caliph's advisors panicked. Some begged him to negotiate. Others said the Mongols would never dare attack the city of peace. But the Caliph hesitated. He failed to gather allied armies. He failed to strengthen the city walls. He failed to prepare for the largest invasion the Middle East had ever seen. And when Hulagu sent his final warning, Hulagu's message, "If you value your life, surrender. If you resist, your city will be destroyed." The Caliph rejected it. One decision sealed the fate of millions. In January 1258, the Mongols surrounded Baghdad like a tightening noose. They dug trenches, built barriers, and positioned massive siege machines, some capable of hurling 200-pound stones. Then, the bombardment began. Stones crashed through mosques, markets, and homes. Fire arrows lit up the night sky. The city trembled. Inside the walls, people prayed. Outside the walls, death waited patiently. After days of relentless bombardment, the walls cracked, a section collapsed, and Mongol troops poured in. Baghdad's defenders fought bravely, scholars, merchants, ordinary citizens, but they were no match for the Mongol war machine. Hulagu then made a chilling promise. Anyone who resisted would die. Anyone who surrendered might live. And so, the Caliph surrendered. But what happened next shocked even those who had feared the Mongols. On February 10th, 1258, Baghdad, the greatest city on earth, fell. The Mongols unleashed a week-long storm of destruction. Palaces were looted, libraries burned, including the House of Wisdom, which held centuries of scientific knowledge. The Tigris River turned black, from the ink of thousands of books thrown into the water. Chroniclers say the river ran red with blood and dark with ink, knowledge and life destroyed together. No one knows the exact death toll. Some say 200,000, others say nearly 1 million. What is certain is this: the world changed forever. Hulagu Khan wanted to make an example. But Mongol tradition outlawed spilling royal blood directly onto the earth. So they found a method both symbolic and brutal. They wrapped the Caliph in a carpet and trampled him to death under horses. A ruler who once commanded an empire, reduced to silence. The fall of Baghdad marked the end of the Islamic Golden Age. Scientific progress slowed, philosophy dimmed, trade collapsed. But the Mongols did not stay long. A few years later, they converted to Islam themselves, a twist of fate no one could have predicted. And the Middle East would never be the same again. Baghdad eventually rose again. New dynasties rebuilt its streets. Life returned to the banks of the Tigris. But the memory of 1258 still lingers, a reminder of how even the greatest civilizations can fall, not because they are weak, but because they believe they can never fall at all. This was episode 2 of our series on history's greatest invasions. If you want episode 3, the Viking invasion of England, the Crusader siege of Jerusalem, or the fall of Constantinople, tell me in the comments. If you have not seen the first episode on how and why Muslims invaded and conquered Europe, click the thumbnail above to watch it. And while you are at it, please like and subscribe to support our channel. Thanks for watching.